Death by suicide jumped by 58% in North Dakota between 1999 and 2016, the largest statewide increase in the country. To help raise awareness and reduce the number of suicide deaths, events are being held across the nation today for World Suicide Prevention Day. Valley News Team's Joseph Ojo spoke with leaders in our area who are working to find ways to tackle this public health emergency.
Chief Yonke and the many first responders on hand at the statewide summit held today know all too well about suicide calls.
Yeah, it's a reality of what we face nearly daily basis of people threatening to commit suicide or actually, unfortunately, committing suicides.
And because Senator Heidi Heitkamp put together the summit to help reduce the number of deaths by suicide, several caregivers and first responders felt this makes a big difference because now those contemplating suicide can have better conversation with responders to get them the help they need.
And we are losing people too young. We're losing some of our grandpas and grandmas. It cuts across all socioeconomic lines. It cuts across gender.
Having a strategy to tackle the issue of suicide is what Heitkamp stresses. And she says that by better understanding the science and early identification signs, it will remove the stigma and help the public crisis in the state.
I think that we're woefully short in behavior and mental health services. And that's going to continue until we make an absolute commitment to changing outcomes.
One point brought up throughout the summit was how suicide can be thought about at any age.
One of the things that happens in the brain, or we believe, is that people become increasingly focused and they lose the perspective to be able to say, but there's good reasons to stay alive.
And for parents who want to help their kids cope with anxiety and depression, which normally leads to suicide,
watching for any change in their day-to-day functioning, has their hygiene or eating or sleeping routines changed? And if so, monitoring that.
Bill Burns, director of the Counseling Center at NDSU, says between October and November, their resources are more needed on campus for students. And while there are crisis hours and a 24-hour counselor on call for suicide assistance, he and Heitkamp believe that the fight must continue if we want to see change in our communities. Joseph Ojo, Valley News Live.
Some advice from experts includes being aware of resources, and if you're having suicidal thoughts, they advise you to stay away from drugs and alcohol. We have more information on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. And if you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline phone number is right there on your screen, 1-800-273-8255. The morning